DreAllDay.com.
Dre Baldwin, DreAllDay.com. I want to talk about doing the consistent, not exciting work that really is what builds your future. It's really what builds your foundation. Is what makes you, when you have a name or you're known in a certain space or you build a certain reputation, again, in whatever space you're in, doesn't have to be with the whole world. That really comes from a consistent period of work that may not always be as exciting. So I'll give you a simple example. I'll give you two. First of all, when I was playing ball, I had this 90-day rule that I would always use with myself. That anytime that I had a tryout I was getting ready for, I'm talking about like a pro tryout, or I was going to a camp, or I had a team that I was already signed with and I was about to go play for, I always made sure that the 90 days before I got on a plane or went to that tryout or that camp or wherever I had to go, for 90 days before that, I didn't have any distractions to my training regimen. Meaning, I was going to the gym, I was working out 2-3 times a day, every day, working with my trainer, consistently in the gym, getting my shots up, doing my drills, whatever I had to do, my conditioning, my weightlifting. But there were no breaks, meaning I wasn't taking any days off to spend time with a girl or nothing like that. I wasn't going on any vacations. I wasn't taking any off days. I wasn't taking any. I had my regimen. If I had a rest day, it was because it was part of the schedule. I wasn't taking a rest day because I was just tired. I wasn't staying up late one night because it was, a holiday or the weekend or a Saturday, so I'm gonna go out and drink and I'm gonna just skip that next workout. I didn't do any of that. For 90 days before that situation, whatever that situation was, I made sure I stuck to that schedule so that by the time I got to where I needed to go, that camp, that tryout, signed with that team, I knew my game was on point. Mentally and physically, I was completely on point because I locked in for that period. And anytime that I violated that and I didn't get that 90 days in, my performance suffered. Mentally, I wasn't as locked in as I needed to be. And physically, my game and my body weren't where they needed to be because I hadn't put the time in to be as sharp as I could be. So I knew, just looking back in my career, because I used to always track my workouts, I could look at it even still to this day, and I knew the periods where my game felt the most sharp, when I was playing the best, when I felt the best, and I got the best results, versus the time periods when I wasn't getting that. And I can see, you look at the 90 days before those situations where it wasn't working out, there were breaks in that 90-day period. I was doing this and that, I was traveling, doing these other things, doing anything other than sticking to my schedule, and ended up costing me. Now, these days, I don't play ball anymore, and some people still be leaving comments like they didn't know that I don't play ball anymore, but I stopped playing ball 5 years ago, at least as of this recording. And now when I'm doing business, it's the same thing. When I'm doing my best business, meaning when I'm producing my best work, maybe that's like when I wrote my book, Work on Your Game, there was a time period that I went through there, like months-long period, where I was just working on that book on a consistent basis, consistently working on that book every single day to make sure that every word was right, every section was right, every paragraph, every chapter was set up the right way, the book flowed the way that it needed to flow. All of those things I was doing to create a great piece of work was ended up being that book, Work on Your Game, which 20 years from now, that book is still going to speak for me, even to people who never even met me, maybe never even heard of me. They just came across that book. Or if I'm getting ready to do a speaking gig, I know that I want to prepare my presentation, even if I'm giving a presentation that I've given before. Even if I'm giving the same presentation that I did last month at a different event now, I'm still going to take that time to prepare it, to make sure that if I'm going to tell a little joke, if I'm going to tell my stories, if I want to switch something out. Maybe I've been using something for the last couple speeches and it wasn't really landing right with the audience. I'm going to switch that out, get ready, make sure I'm on point for that presentation, because even though I've done it before, that doesn't mean that I can get lax in my preparation. Doesn't mean I can get lax in my discipline of being ready for this next presentation, because to them, that audience that I'm about to go speak for, they didn't hear the last 2, 3, 10 presentations. They only going to hear this one, and they're not going to hear the next one. They only got this one. So I got to prepare for this one as if this audience is only getting it that one time, because it's not even an as if, that's actually what it is. So that's the way that I would always get myself prepared as an athlete. It's still the way I get myself prepared in business world. I hope that's not too much weight for y'all. But the point is this: when you produce your best work, the work that's going to last the longest, the work that is the best representative of you and your brand and whatever it is you're about, that you want people to know that you're about, that usually is a result of a extended period of time where you are doing the repetitive work that may or may not be so exciting to you, and you do anything over and over again, it starts being exciting. I don't care how exciting it was in the beginning. You're going to lose a little bit of that excitement. Doesn't mean you stop doing the work. But any type of work that you're going to produce a great result that's going to last and stand the test of time and speak for you even when you're no longer speaking for yourself, or you're not there to speak for yourself, is always going to come from that period of tedium, doing the same things, sticking to those disciplines, doing the work, showing up every single day and doing what you need to do. And again, it may be exciting for you. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's old hat. Maybe you've done it 100 times already in the past. Maybe it's a brand new thing for you. But that's the way that it works. And the reason why this message is important is because a lot of people, we all like the excitement. Like, I just came from out of town. I was out of town for like the last 5 days. And it was fun to be traveling, seeing different places, hanging with people that you don't see every day, doing stuff that you don't normally do, getting off your normal routine and schedule. All of that was fun. I really enjoyed the trip. But at the same time, I knew, all right, for me to write those books and write the articles that I write and put out the podcasts that I put out and produce the really great work that leads to long-term results that pay me back in many different ways over and over again over time, that doesn't happen because I got all this variety and all this randomness in my schedule. It's not because I'm traveling to this place, that place, going on a vacation, or hanging with these different people all the different times. No. Those results come from the long-term results. Those come from me doing the same things over and over and over again every day for an extended period of time. No breaks. And if you look at your own life, if you have any results, any accomplishments that you're proud of, looking at your own life, you can probably trace the exact same causes to the same effects that I can. Maybe not in the exact same way. It doesn't have to be 90 days, and you don't have to be an athlete or an author. But it works the exact same way. That unbroken period of doing the work produces a result that lasts way longer than even the time you had to put into producing the outcome, whatever that piece of work was. So look at your own life and notice that this is true, so that you know you're not just hearing it from me. This is something that's happening in your own life. Then what you need to do is figure out how can you take all the randomness out of your schedule and get an extended period where you can really put that work in, whether that be writing your book, putting together your course, starting your business, building relationships with certain people, whatever it is you're working on, because we all got different ways that we do what we do. But you do need to figure out, where can I get that unbroken time period so I can really lock in, so I can produce an outcome that I'll be proud of. I'll be proud to look back on 2 years later, 10 years later and say, yeah, I did that. And I'm glad my name is attached to it. All right, if you don't have anything in your life that fits that description, I just gave you the explanation as to probably why that is. Work on your game. DreAllDay.com.